Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're taking a closer look at and installing the Hellcat Style Rear Spoiler in matte black, fitting all 08 and newer Challengers. Now, whether your Challenger came with a factory spoiler or not, this is going to be a really big upgrade to not only the appearance, but also the functionality of your Challenger. We all know that the Hellcat is one of the more iconic Challenger bodies out there, and the exterior styling of that Hellcat is sought after by all trim package owners out there, like our 13RT here. Now, our 13RT did come with a factory spoiler, the RT spoiler, and even though it did come with one, this is gonna be such a big upgrade in the appearance and functionality. Now, the appearance-wise, this is gonna be a lot more aggressive and race-inspired at the rear end. It's got a bigger, almost ducktail spoiler-like lip that comes up a little bit higher off the trunk lid there, and it's got the divot in the middle there as well. Now, we'll take a closer look at that, comparing it to our factory RT spoiler a little bit later in the video. In addition to just the raw appearance of the spoiler, it's gonna help with aerodynamics, it's gonna reduce drag, and it's gonna increase some additional downforce at the rear end, especially at highway speeds and if you're taking your car to the track. Now, this isn't one of the most aggressive spoilers in the category. It's not coming super high up off the trunk lid there, but it will make a difference, especially at highway speeds, like I said. So when you're driving at speed, additional downforce at the rear can help with traction, and of course, you know that helps with aerodynamics. Now, this spoiler in particular is made from a high-quality, impact-resistant, high-strength ABS plastic, something that you see from a lot of exterior styling pieces, specifically in the spoiler category, and it's finished in matte black. Now, it's not necessarily raw material, but it is a matte black coating on top of that, which has a very, very slight sheen to it. It's something that adds a very stealthy look to the rear end, but if you wanted to paint match it to your factory or OEM paint color or a custom color of your choice, you very much can do so. You'll just have to take it to a local paint shop of your choice. The price tag for this is going to come in right around 175 bucks. Install, I'm giving 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. You can have it knocked out in about 30 minutes to an hour from start to finish. Now, I will say, guys, if your vehicle did not come with a factory spoiler, there will be some drilling involved. Obviously, your holes are non-existent because your vehicle didn't come with one. In that case, you will have to start measuring, marking your holes, and drilling through the trunk lid. Because ours came with a spoiler, again, we don't have to do any drilling. We're reusing those factory holes, and it additionally comes with 3M automotive bonding tape along with some adhesion promoter for added support. I'm going to walk you guys through that process there. Of course, know that if you do have to do some drilling, it's going to beef up the install time as well as the difficulty. I'll walk you through the process. Let's get started. Tools used in the install include an impact gun or a ratchet, Phillips head screwdriver, 10mm deep socket. Recommend it would be a clean microfiber, and a soap and water mixture in a squirt bottle. Now, because our Challenger has a factory spoiler on it, we can start with the uninstall, which is just basically 2 bolts and some 3M underneath of it, getting it off. But if you don't have a factory spoiler, you can skip over the uninstall steps of our uninstall process and get right into your drilling. Now, if you have a factory spoiler, drilling is not required, but if you don't, you will have to drill out some holes in order to bolt it up, so keep that in mind. Because we have a spoiler, I'm gonna start by popping open our trunk. There are 2 nuts, like I said, 1 in each corner. We have to remove the rubber cap from that, and then we'll be able to start from there. Starting on our passenger side, this rubber cap here, you're basically just gonna twist and pull straight off. It exposes that 10mm nut. Grab your 10 socket and an impact gun or a ratchet and get that off. Same thing on the other side. All right, same thing on the other side. Twist off this cap, pull it straight off. Grab your 10 socket and get that nut off. All right, with those 2 out of the way, shut your trunk and you can remove your spoiler. Keep in mind, guys, even though there was only 2 nuts holding this on, the middle section of your factory spoiler will have some 3M adhesion underneath of it. Because our spoiler has been removed before, that adhesion has been removed also. So ours is a lot easier to pull off like this. Yours, however, may need a panel removal tool in order to loosen up and remove the 3M that's in the middle, and you'll pry up on that. Just be careful not to crack or damage your spoiler. And then once you have that guy off, set it aside and we can clean up the trunk lid. Now, it's up to you how thorough you want to be with this because your new spoiler will be covering this up. You just want to do a good job of cleaning this guy up. I'm going to use a soap and water mixture in a squirt bottle to help get all of the dirt and dust off of this surface. If you have really bad adhesive, you might want to invest in some adhesive remover or something like that in order to get those adhesive sticky parts off of the paint, just to get a good bond between the new spoiler and your trunk. All right, so there we can move on. So we have our factory spoiler off of our 13RT behind me, and it's on the table next to our Hellcat Style Rear Spoiler in the matte black finish. I want to take you through some similarities and differences here. And right off the bat, let's talk about the shape and design. Now, your factory RT spoiler there is pretty basic. It's just a very regular almost flush lip. It doesn't have much angle to it. It doesn't have much height to it at all. It's not going to be somewhat of a ducktail spoiler. It's not really a platform spoiler at all. It's just very basic. It's a very simple lip. The new Hellcat style spoiler here, as you can see, has more of that ducktail shape. It's got the angle that comes up on a slope there, and it's got the divot right in the middle there. That's going to help almost mimic the third brake light styling that you get in your rear windshield. Now this here is made from an ABS construction. It's high strength, it's impact resistant, and it's finished in a matte black. This matte black is going to be a lot different than the factory spoiler, which of course would have been paint matched if your vehicle came with one. Now the matte black is something that you can use right out of the box like we are today. Take it out of the box, throw it right back on, and it's going to give you that stealthy look at the rear, but it's also paintable. If you wanted to take this to a local paint shop of your choice, you can get it color matched like our Hemi Pearl Orange. Now, that's obviously personal preference. A lot of guys like the look of the matte black out of the box. I personally think it adds a nice little contrasting touch, especially to an orange vehicle like this one here, but again, personal preference. The way that this mounts is going to be somewhat similar to the factory spoiler. It does have 2 holes on either side, and that's what we're going to be using, just like our factory one was. But if you wanted to drill additional holes to get additional support, you can use those in the middle. Keep in mind that would require removing your taillight assembly in order to access underneath of that. That is personal preference. That's more so going to be for the guys who don't have a factory spoiler, who will need to have to do some drilling. Since we're only going to be using the outer 2 like our factory spoiler was, that's where we're going to move on from here. At that point, we don't have to transfer anything over from our factory spoiler, but we do have to assemble some of the 3M on the bottom of this one. So let's get to work there. All right, first up here, I've got my spoiler face down. I'm going to use an alcohol wipe, not included in the kit, but definitely recommend it. I'm just going to give it a wipe where I'm going to apply some of that 3M around the edges there, just to get rid of some of the manufacturing dirt and dust that come along with the ABS. All right, so once you clean that guy off, what we're going to do is take the 3M tape roll included in the kit. I'm going to go just a little bit down from the edge. I'm going to apply that and run it all the way across. All right, once you get to the end, you want to have a knife on hand, cut it off. Do the same thing to the bottom. All right, now at this point, guys, remember you can use adhesion promoter. There is some adhesion promoter included in the kit. We're not going to be using that today just because the vehicle will be going back to stock after the video, so we want to make sure that's a little bit easier to do. But if you want some added support, the adhesion promoter is a great way to go. Now with your trunk sort of half cracked, I'm going to put one of the new Phillips head screws through the hole, line that up to the spoiler hole that's got pre-threaded holes on the bottom end, and I'm just going to thread that in a few threads, just like that. I'm going to gently put the spoiler down and do the same thing on the other side. All right, so you want to do the same thing on the other side. All right, now we can remove the 3M and then tighten down the bolts. All right, so now we can peel off that 3M once we like the positioning and stick it into place. All right, close your trunk, put firm and even pressure all around on that 3M, and then we can tighten down that Phillips head. All right, grab a Phillips head screwdriver. We're gonna tighten this guy down. Okay, repeat that on the other side, and you're good to go. That's gonna wrap up my review and install for the Hellcat Style Rear Spoiler in matte black for the 08 and newer Challenger. Get yours right here at AmericanMuscle.com.